Y'all. DJ Klyph. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Available everywhere you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, all of that. And this one's good. I had a chance to sit and chop it up with the homie, one Young Micah, talking about his transition from the dirty New Orleans to PDX, man, and how that birthed New Portland. Shows he's been doing around the city and just making moves. So sit back. Check out the latest episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. My guy, one Young Micah. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Acapella Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Acapella, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out acapella.com. That's AKEPELE.com. Yes, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Available everywhere you listen to your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart. We on Pandora now, man. We everywhere. You can check us out for sure. Appreciate y'all checking us out, man. Hey, yo, this one's dope. I've been building with this cat for a little bit, and he is here doing, like, he's just making moves, man, in Portland, and it's so cool to have him jump on the podcast, man. Let him know who you are.
It's one Young Micah in the building. What's going on? It's a pleasure to be here with my guy, DJ Klyph, again on Klyph Notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
we in
sir.
the building.
Yes,
the long
sir.
way. You know what I'm saying? We've been building.
And we have, bro.
About,
we have for sure, man.
The right way.
So, man, a lot of stuff to talk about just because you are doing so many things. You so busy. So people probably tell from your accent that you ain't from Portland.
Yeah. some people be automatically noticing, but then some people be expecting me to have like a super strong New Orleans accent. So they be like, "Oh, you don't really have such an accent." You know? So some people, you know.
You ain't losing it being up here yet, huh?
Yeah. I think I'm kind of losing it. That's what it really is. That's the crazy part. I don't really want to lose my accent.
Nah, bro, you can't do that.
I don't really. I ain't tripping either way. I know. You know what I'm saying?
You know you from.
Yeah.
504 all
I know
day,
where I'm
baby.
from all day. But like, yeah, back home people was telling me like I sound like people from West Coast and stuff now. So I was like, dang.
Yeah. So how long you been out here?
Like a year now. I stayed out here for a year straight though, so that's the thing. Like, usually when you just go somewhere, you visit home a little bit, so you still interacting with the people back home as much. But like, I just stayed here for a year straight. The only person I really probably was talking to from New Orleans was my mama still, or something like. So, yeah, I understand how I lost it. So
yeah. But so you came up here about a year ago. People in the city are probably gonna know you, but people who ain't in Portland or from New Orleans may not know really who you are and what you do, man. So I connected with you at Mic Check a minute ago. You came through, you rocked several open mics at Mic Check. And getting to know you, trying, following your brand.
Lit.
Bro, that's,
Mic check.
That's my spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But man, MC, you know what I'm saying? That's how I got to know you.
Yeah.
But you showed that you much more than the MC. So you started your situation in New Orleans.
Yep.
What was it like? What was it like for you coming into your, your situation as an artist in New Orleans?
In New Orleans, I always kind of made music, even growing up as an artist. I, called myself like Lil MC before I ever even started like the One Young Micah wave. That was like when I started calling myself One Young Micah, I was in like college, just calling myself, telling people call me that just because I wanted a nickname. I didn't want everybody just calling me Micah all the time, just my name. So I told people to call me that before I was even rapping.
Yeah.
And then like I started kind of writing raps and recording them on my phone when I was in college. So I wasn't really in New Orleans at this time. So a lot of my friends and supporters was from New Orleans because that's where I'm from.
Right.
But I was actually in Lafayette, like 2 hours away.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? That's what me and Spitter and stuff, that's where we met.
Okay.
But like I was rapping out there, and they heard me on my phone, and everybody was like, "You need to be in the studio, bro. Like you got." They like my vocabulary straight off the bat. They were like, "Man, you use better words than these rappers out already." That's what everybody was telling me. I was like, "Bro, if everybody think I'm better than these dudes already, like I might should rock with this a little bit." So I was in the studio and stuff. And the first project I put out, basically, like when it started going viral, like that summer, I put it out like I feel like in December or January or something. But by the summertime, I seen it had like tens of thousands of views on Spotify already.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that's a lot. But then after that, it like kept doubling, quadrupling. Like it got over 2 million at this point. But like as soon as I came out with my music, it really like it took off the first project. So I ain't never really looked back.
Yeah.
Anything that I do, I always want to go full on with it. But as soon as I came out with the music, it took off. It was like, yeah, I gotta do this. Like after I dropped the first project, everybody looking at me like, we know you ain't stopping. We know you ain't stopping. I already had another project done. So it was, that's the one thing about me recording. Like people always notice like the work that like as soon as I started rapping, I made a project like within like a month probably.
Yeah.
And then after that, I recorded another project after that. And I dropped a lot of them. I took some of them down just because like I got more professional with my sound and stuff, so I wanted to progress. So that's the reason I took a lot of my old music down. But when I first came out, I was dropping tape after tape. A lot of like some of the songs still on my SoundCloud and stuff. So yeah.
So how much music had you released before you moved to Portland?
Well, I dropped at least like 5 or 6 tapes.
Oh, word.
At least 5 or 6 tapes.
So you had a lot of music.
Raw to Mars. I dropped the Heat Files. I dropped another project called Venice Time Ford. I dropped a project called The Expression. I dropped Young Forever. I dropped Young Spitters. And I dropped I think that might be all of them, but that's about 6, huh?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah,
that was about 5 or 6. That's all the ones I dropped. That's before I even.
That's before you moved up
and
here.
Then as soon as I got here, I dropped Top Shelf EP. I dropped the EP.
Okay.
As soon as I got here.
That's crazy to me, bro. All right, so made the transition up here to the Northwest. One of the things that I'm curious about the scene, like coming up here to Portland, compared to the scene that you was rocking in when you was down south. Like, what was the first thing that you noticed?
The first thing I noticed was like the crowd was like more participating, like
up here.
Yeah.
Okay, word.
They more like intrigued, or they paying attention. If you got something good, they gonna engage into it all the way as much as you engaged into it. As much energy as you putting out, they gonna give back.
That's what's up. That's what's
like
up.
Back home, you gotta really work to get like your crowd all the way into it. Like you gotta be on top of it.
Yeah.
Just to get them to look your way, and then you gotta go above and beyond to get them to all the way like rock with you. Like it's a tougher crowd back home. Yeah.
Okay. Which is obviously, as an artist, that's what you want. You want that crowd participation when you on stage.
Yeah. You always want that.
That's what's up. All right. So then you moved up here to Portland, and like you said, started releasing music right away. So like I said, you and I met at Mic Check. You hit me up, came through. I got to meet some of your people when you came through one night. But it didn't stop there, like, cause you have graduated beyond releasing music and performing. Like you're promoting situations. Mm-hmm. Like where did all that come from in terms of having that, like knowing how to do that, knowing, all right, well, how do I release a project? How do I, connect with people? How do I get into a situation where I start promoting?
It's like when I go into situations, I'm always going into like an open mind. So like, I could meet anybody doing anything, but somehow we could probably come together and do something, together for the greater good or something positive. Like I don't know. It's just like I just go random places and meet people I work with, like, and I'm not closed off to a random person I meet.
Yeah.
Like I can meet him and you come by my house. Come on, let's go work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care. Like it's all good because I know I'm gonna be safe regardless. First of all, and second of all, like you just never know, man. You just gotta be able to take those chances and go out on a limb. Cause I know, like, I done had like random messages, in my DMs that probably will look like a spam to a lot of people, but it turned into like some of my biggest opportunities, like, cause it's legit people that just hitting me up through my DMs on Instagram. You know, like it's just I just be open. I check all my messages. I you know, I pay attention to everybody that's in the room. Like I acknowledge everybody, you know, and that type of stuff. I feel like that's what helped me go a long way, like just with getting connections and stuff.
Yeah.
Cause that's how I got most of my connections. It ain't like nobody brought me into like this big conference meeting and was like, oh, there's one Young Micah here. Anybody want to do this with him or this? Like, nah, it wasn't nothing like that. Like, it's just like the random person I met yesterday. I might send him a message about what he told me to send him a message about. He might come to the show and see that he really, really like what I'm doing and be like, you know what? I actually do this. You know what I'm saying? And I could help you with this, that, and the third. You know, like, it just be random stuff for real for me. Like it's so much. It be so random for me to the point where I know that like this is pretty much meant for me. Like what I'm doing, I just got to keep working and keep staying inspired to work harder.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I'm never complacent and keep wanting to work harder than I've been working, then this is meant for me.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So, you have really taken advantage of a lot of opportunities because you are so busy in the short time that you've been here in the city, man. You're busy, man. We get to see your names on flyers, doing shows around the city. There's been a challenge in the city of Portland. I'm not sure how much you've had an opportunity to plug into that. In the past, there was a challenge for artists to have a place to play. You know, in terms of venues that were being open to hip hop. And it doesn't seem like you've run into that, or have you, as you've been trying to book shows?
I haven't really ran into that problem personally, but I noticed that they have a lot of venues that prefer a lot of other music than hip hop. You know, you could tell by how they beef up their security or how they act when they have hip hop acts there. So, I mean, certain venues not gonna book a lot of hip hop. Certain venues gonna be really tough on the crowd or the artists when they come to their venue. You know what I'm saying? When it's hip hop, you know. So I've noticed it, but like,
but
that's just places like I noticed that like when I move on to bigger levels, then I probably wouldn't want to go there and bring my music there. Like I'm only trying to go where I'm wanted at.
Yeah. So, but I asked because again, you have a new perspective coming into the city, and I think sometimes when you're in that space, it's hard to see opportunities. That's what you mentioned. You know, you came in here, you took advantage of opportunities. So that's why I was asking that, to see if you felt like that was a reality for you, or if you felt like, nah, you just moving and making things happen, and have been able to just make things happen here in Portland.
I mean, it's not so bad to the point. It's not so bad to the point where I would feel like it could limit me as an artist or what I'm trying to do. But you know, those people are kind of out there. I could agree with it. Anybody that probably saying it, like, I identify with that.
Yeah. And everybody's experience is always going to be a little different, obviously.
Right.
So in terms of your artistry, you know, when you think about, people say, okay, I'm listening to this interview, I kind of want to hear what Young Micah does as an artist. How would you categorize how you move your sound?
I think I have a pretty laid back flow, like laid back. Not really, like I don't do no whole lot of screaming, and I don't do no whole lot of singing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much just rapping. I'm pretty like steady on my flows. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my flows be like steady, like, and I got good word choice. You know, that's what a lot of people would say. I always try to give some type of message, even if it's not the biggest message or the smallest one. Like, try to tell you something that, you know, trigger some type of thought at some point in a song, or, you know what I'm saying? It's always like some emotion or something you could feel and relate to in some way or another, I think.
Yeah, which is cool, just in terms of how I rock with life in general, but also, you know, especially with music. The idea of, if you had a platform, you got to say something. Right. So for you, where does that come from? Why is that important? Because a lot of times people be like, man, I just want to make something, you know, to make people's heads bob. But why is that important to you to say something?
Oh, because I'm just bright-minded, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be like, a waste of my mind to not like try to get off some of my thoughts off to people, and share, you know, share some of my experiences and that type of stuff. Like it'll be wasteful. It'll be tragic, man. It'll be sad day in hip hop with one young Micah, then get no kind of message like that'll be horrible, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
My daddy will be looking at me, my mom will be looking at me. They'll be like, "Dang, boy, you got all this opportunity, all this platform." Everybody be looking at me like, "Dang, you still gonna do the same thing everybody else doing?" That's just like,
Yeah. That's what's up.
that's just not who I am. That's the one thing I never like is to be doing what other people are doing. You know, I don't want what other people have. Like I just like to be different.
Yeah, nah, I definitely I appreciate. That's one of the things that I appreciate about you as an artist, you as a person. So before I moved to Portland, I was living in New Orleans, and obviously things have changed. I got a few years on you. You know what I mean, young man. But there was the idea of that New Orleans sound was really really big, and it was interesting. There was a sort of a common everybody was using this Trigger Man sample when I used to live in New Orleans. So when you left New Orleans and came here, was there any thought of, all right, like I gotta have that New Orleans sound no matter where I go?
Nah, I don't have like a real New Orleans sound in my music,
Yeah.
so nah, nah. Like people that could hear my music from like different places and probably maybe tell that I was from New Orleans, especially like certain songs or certain projects, but um, I don't make that type of music where it's like, oh, that's that New Orleans sound. I
Right.
just rap
Yeah.
on southern type of beats, maybe trap kind of beats, or maybe even like East Coast type of beats. That's the type of flow. I got more East Coast sound than like a New Orleans sound.
Yeah.
If you ask me, or probably a lot of people that listen to my stuff. So I never felt
That's
that
what's up.
need. Like I could tell you where I'm from, and people from where I'm from could tell you that's where I'm from. But like I ain't gotta sound like everybody that's from there at the same time, because then I just be putting myself in the same boat that they in, and they don't really got a lot of people popping out of New Orleans with that song right now. So,
Yeah, that's what's up. Chopping up with one Young Micah. So coming out here to Portland, because I've been here for so long, I'm always curious. Did you feel like there's a Portland sound? Because I ask people who come here, and there's a pretty common answer that I've gotten. But I'm curious from someone who's newer to the city, who's an artist. Like, do you feel like there's a Portland sound?
nah, it's not. There's not really a Portland sound. It's like a Portland wave, I think, or something like. It's like people. It's a lot of different people got a little bit of their own sound,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's all about just saying different stuff. Like they all standing for different stuff. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I see a lot of in Portland. They got that one little West Coast fake West Coast sound. I don't really vibe with that at all though.
What you mean fake West Coast? What you mean?
Like the Cali sound, like what I'm saying, like the Bay Area type rapping and stuff. Like I feel like people are like that from Portland, and they would just be trying to sound like that, really. But to each his own.
It's funny that you say that. So, there's a couple of episodes of Klyph Notes that I've had an opportunity to do with some vets from the city, and when they tell us, they tell a story of like a lot of the history of Portland hip hop. They talk about artists from the Bay love Portland. So through the years, artists from the Bay would often come up here and do shows. And so as people are coming up, obviously, especially with Bay Area artists who were popular, as people was listening to, you know what I mean? And so I think that's where you get a little bit of that. So it's interesting to hear that, because that really confirms what a lot of people have said. Like that's kind of what was happening in Portland. Yeah. The other thing that people have said that, like right in line with what you said, when I ask people who've come up in the Portland scene, like what is the Portland sound? People say there is no Portland sound.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me. That's why I want to ask you those questions, because you're newer to the city, and yeah, that's real. That's crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, chopping up with my guy One Young Micah. Gonna take a quick second, man. I got to give a shout out to my folk over at Acapella Apparel. They've been supporting the Klyph Notes podcast for a minute now, and they're doing big things. And it being summer months, a really good time to check them out. They got some dope tees, keeping you fitted for the summer. So check them out, Acapella Apparel. The website is acapella.com. It's AKEPELE.com. Check them out, Acapella Apparel, all over social media, and also be up with the following the social medias, man, to see what they got happening in and around the Portland metro area. Once again, big ups to my folk at Acapella Apparel. So, like I said, bro, you came up here in the city and really just dove in, man. People get to see you doing shows all over the place. Had an opportunity to have you on the Welcome to the Neighborhood show a little bit ago, just before you were heading over to Century to do a show.
No, I was headed to
No, it wasn't Century.
that was the other place we did the other show.
Yeah.
Star Day Tavern.
Yeah, that's what it was. But you a little while. It was a second in the series that you're doing, because a little while ago you did New Portland. It was New Portland Part 2 that you did. What's up with New Portland, B?
We got the third installation. We about to do it big at Century this time.
Okay,
though. That's what you was thinking
yeah,
about.
Yeah,
we about to do
I
the
let it
third
out the bag a little bit, you know.
It's gonna be ladies' night too.
Oh, word.
So it's gonna be half off drinks for all the ladies.
Okay.
All night.
That's what's up.
What we're gonna be giving a portion of the proceeds to Friends of Noise.
Nice.
Gonna be giving awards to important people on the hip hop scene. So I'd love for everybody to be there and just be there to support. And it's gonna be dope. I got a crazy lineup. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds like, the way that you describe it, it makes it sounds like this is gonna be a part of Hip Hop Week.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out to
okay.
hip hop. Shout out to Portland Hip Hop Week, Portland Hip Hop Day, the website. My dude OG1, DJ OG1. That's the man. You know what I'm saying? We be making stuff happen.
No doubt.
It's about to be lit. It's really about to be so lit. I don't know. That's like one of my most exciting shows coming up, and I got some big stuff coming up. But like August 22nd, at Century. Doors open at like 8. Show start 8:30. Got about 7 artists performing. C Goods, C Goods.
Homie right there.
I got Side of Highness. I got D-Boy Slim. I got my dude Spitter Rises.
Yeah.
I got the Cosmos.
Okay.
I got who else? I got like one other person I think I'm missing, but.
So where does that come from? Like the going from artist, writer, rapper to now promoter. Like, how does that happen?
I wouldn't really see it as going to promoter. I always had to promote myself as an artist from day one. So
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't see myself as going to promoter. It's just like promoting is part of being an artist. But like me developing my own shows, it's just me. It's just the need for One Young Micah shows to be happening, and the need for me to be able to bring the New Orleans and the Portland scene together. You know what I'm saying? My music with the Portland artists that I've met since I've been here. Me being able to get exposure for myself and bring it also to other people, it only expands both of our names and, bring that much to everybody. So
yeah, which is cool that you are, as you're doing it, you are building with people that you've met.
Yeah, it's all people that I've met and seen live and actually connected with. Like, it's not nothing like really, forced at all. Like, It ain't me just hitting up people that like, it ain't just me hitting up random people. So it's like, that's how I've been able to keep it going so easily. It's all just, mutual colleagues and friends. So
yeah. So if people didn't catch it, it's New Portland because, like you said, it's New Orleans and Portland.
Yeah.
there was a New Portland movement that was happening a few years ago. So we want to make sure that people don't get it.
I don't know.
Don't get it twisted. Nah. That's nah. We on a whole different situation. So you doing shows, you release music. I know you working on another project, and when you were on Welcome to the Neighborhood, you shared that you had a new situation now.
Yeah,
I mean,
shout out to the Vibers. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had my Vibers shirt or something on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got all kind of hoodies with my names and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So who is that?
You go check them out, Vibers, thevibers.com. First thing you're going to see is One Young Micah right at the top. You know what I'm saying? That's my label back home. It's an upcoming independent label. We got a lot of big, huge, great things coming. Like my project, I have a 7-song EP I think I'm going to drop.
Yeah.
Maybe like October 11th, So you could be looking for that
Okay.
around that time.
Okay.
We're going to do a lot of big things with the promo. We're going to have merch, cover art dropping here soon and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We just shot out a movie. So that was my first time ever being in a movie with the Vibers. You know, the name of that is Sugar. So y'all could be out on the lookout for that in the fall. And just with the Vibers, we just got a lot of big things. We got shows and
So how did
That's
that?
crazy.
Was that a connect you made before you moved up here or after you moved up here?
yeah, we had already been working and doing business before I moved to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So it was on the right that, like, you know, the way I came out here and expanded, and they had been expanding too back home, working with big names, big people.
Yeah.
So it was on the right for me to, you know, for both of us to link back up and, you know, work together.
Yeah. Was that something that you were looking for connecting with the label? I mean, you've done so much as an independent artist.
Actually, it wasn't really exactly something I was looking for, but you know, the offer was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was worth doing.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to talk to many other artists who've gone from being independent to being on a label?
Not really a lot of them.
Yeah.
My partner Spitter had been signed before, so
Okay, word.
I talked to him a little bit about it. He helped me through the situation and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And I had like lawyers looking over the contracts. My mom,
yeah,
she signed contracts before, so
yeah. That's what's up.
yeah.
It's interesting. I did an interview with Mike Bogan a little while ago, and we were talking about that. The going from an independent artist to being on a label and just
I'm still independent though.
oh yeah. But just the opportunities that presents because you have somebody you're not doing all the heavy lifting on your own. Now you got somebody to help.
Yeah, they're
Some
doing
of the
a lot for me now. So it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. I don't be knowing what to do with some of my time now though. So I'm used to doing everything myself.
Yeah. So that the EP is going to drop in August or in October rather. You got the situation coming up in August.
Got 2 singles. So yeah, in August we got 2 shows. One on the 14th and one on the 22nd. The 14th show is at the Goodfoot. It's gonna be me, and my dude Spitter Riser performing live with Ma London
Oh yeah.
and Adepsy. I don't know how to say this name, but
Okay.
it's some neo soul music.
Oh word.
So it's gonna be neo soul, R&B, and hip hop all live at the Goodfoot. And then on the 22nd, like I told you, the lineup for that one was Shot and D-Boy Slim, Spitter Rises. We got Savage P. We got Cosmos, C Goods, all gonna be live at Century for Ladies Night, version of New Portland. You know what I'm saying? DJ Dirty Red. You know, part of Portland Hip Hop Week. You know, we're gonna be giving out awards. We're gonna be getting lit. It's gonna be a big epic event. You know, so that's the 2 shows in August, and in between all this time in August and September, I'll be dropping like singles and videos and that type of stuff.
Word.
I got all kinds of like content. It's gonna be content coming up all in between this time up until my project in October. So
Okay.
I'm gonna keep everybody busy, you know, with the content on the way.
That's what's up, man. And it's funny because you said that like you don't know what to do with your free time, but I think anybody who pays any attention to what you do, like that you ain't just saying that because you constantly doing stuff. If people are trying to see, like they're trying to plug in with One Young Micah, like how they do that.
If they trying to plug in with me, they could just hit me up on Instagram at One Young Micah, the number 1 Young YOUNG, Micah MICAH. At One Young Micah. You can check me out on all streaming platforms. My music available. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. But the best way to get in touch with me would be through Instagram.
Okay, that's the one you rock with the most.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that'll give people an opportunity to get to see what you do as an artist. They're getting to know you a little bit here on Klyph Notes. Like what's the situation outside of music? Like what you be doing outside of music?
Outside of music, I don't know. I just be chilling, smoking weed and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I hang with my family, my friends.
Word.
That's what I like to do.
Word up. So pretty low key.
Yeah, for the most part. I go to events too. I like to go to anything I'm invited to. So I like to go see other live music.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's still music.
Yeah.
Outside of music.
Exactly.
You know? So I like to eat. You know, I like to go to restaurants.
You got some favorite spots in Portland yet?
Portland? Man, I don't really like the food in Portland that much, bro.
What?
Man, I'm starting to realize that like every time I go home, like I went home these 2 times, I'm like, man, I'm smashing like eating like crazy.
Yeah.
And out here, I don't even be look. I got a smoothie, bro. Like I barely even be eating out here, bro. Like they got certain stuff that's good, but like overall, I don't really got no favorite restaurant. Or nothing,
Okay,
bro.
we got we
I
gonna have
think
to
they
get you
got
back.
some spots out here though that I still need to try though.
I'm
Like
a,
I know y'all just open Culture or something, right?
yeah, Culture's a Mediterranean spot.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
I don't know about that yet.
Yeah, we got to get you hooked up to
I'm
some
scared.
spots,
That
bro.
sound like a gyro, a gyro or something. What they call them?
Yeah, like
Gyros?
gyros. Yeah,
Euros,
yeah,
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 euros.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. What you like? What you like? You like just straight up like collard greens and cornbread,
I like soul food.
black
I
eyed
like
peas.
seafood.
Okay.
I like seafood and soul food. That's like my favorite.
All right. So look, I need all my listeners to hit up One Young Micah. We got to get them introduced to some of the spots in Portland. You know what I'm saying, to get some good grill. I'm gonna say this,
Good
bro.
soul food, some good seafood. Y'all
Yeah.
already know what's popping.
Yeah. But like, and I think everybody knows. I think it's not being partial to say there's absolutely nothing like Southern cooking though. Like for real.
Yeah, I'm
for real.
from New Orleans, so it's hard. I like My Brothers. You ever been to that place, My Brothers Crawfish?
I haven't. I
It's
heard
on
of it. But I ain't been
82nd. It's
there.
on 82nd, so I like their food.
Okay. That's what's up. Bro, how you gonna be sucking on the thing all up in the microphone, bro?
I'm sorry, people.
Come
I just
on,
finished
bruh.
the smoothie, bro. I'm so sorry, y'all. I had to finish it.
One
Finish
Young
him.
Micah.
Finish him.
You got, I don't know how many of the, like, you got some connects that you've made business wise in the city. I don't know how many you can or want to talk about.
Let me see.
Or should we just leave that? Should we leave that?
My favorite one, my favorite connection probably would be with these people right here. Where I show it at.
Nah, just let folk know so they can check them out.
The High Noon coat. This is my favorite connection I got right now. I'm basically like a brand ambassador for them now. They come out to my shows and they support me. I support them.
Yeah.
We bring each other more following, bring each other more bring revenue our direction, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not really nothing too serious right now, but it's all like just business relationships I've been building with, Portland hip hop Day. Me and OG1, we got the August 22nd event together, and I've just been building with different, promoters in general outside of Portland.
Yeah.
And different brands and designers and that type of stuff. I do modeling at like Compound.
Yeah.
And I model for other brands and stuff. So, like, my homie at Fastlane, he be hooking me up with gear. So, shout out to J Phenom with Fastlane. That's a real dope clothing line.
Okay.
And like I said, my dudes at Compound always show love. They be hooking me up with gear. I be modeling for them. And shout out to Kobe and everybody over there at the shop. What else, man? Yeah, it's a lot of different brands. They got Riley with Rizzy's Pharmacy. He be hooking me up with clothes. Like, he do like custom stuff like spray paint and like cut and sew. Like, it's real neat. Like, I ain't never seen nobody that young. Like, he really on some designer stuff. So shout out to Riley. And that's just a few people.
That's crazy, bro. Again, I just celebrate the fact that you've come into a situation and have really moved what you're doing so rapidly.
It was, to me, it was like my music really was already, like I told you, when I dropped my first project, it took off, like, and I had a lot of streamers just from then.
Yeah.
So my streaming, like, it always steadily went up, especially when I put music out. So it really was just about me getting outside of New Orleans, I felt like, because that just wasn't where the listeners really was coming from. Even though I had a lot of like people supporting me because they knew who I was and heard my music and stuff, like, I was getting streamed from outside the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting streamed like on the West Coast and on the East Coast, but like it's not really coming from right there.
Yeah.
So I knew it was kind of like a good idea for me to get out and do it. I knew that I'd be able to get accepted. I knew my music was good enough. I basically, just from knowing that I had people hitting me up from Thailand. I had people hitting me up in Africa. I got people hitting me up in Europe. I got people hitting me up in every continent, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if all these different people hit me up from different regions, then my music is like hitting, anybody could like it.
Yeah.
That's when I knew like I could go anywhere and it could do well.
But let me say this to you, bro. and this is something that I don't know that we talk about as an industry enough. I think the streams are cool, but I don't think that that's the thing that's necessarily helped you, in my opinion, as much as just how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Every time you've approached me on any situation, man, you always come at me professional. You know what I'm saying? You always follow through with the things that you say you're gonna do. Those are the things that are gonna carry you in your career, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody, like, people could buy streams. You know what I mean? Streams and likes and all of that. Those things we celebrate. Nah, but you come through and you like you're a real person. You come through professional, respectful, and as long as you continue to do that, bro, the sky is definitely the limit for real.
So
just keep doing that, bro. You know what I mean?
You already know I'm always gonna do that. That's me. That's just embedded in me. I couldn't do it no other way. I don't care if I was, you know what I'm saying, still making pieces. I used to make pieces in high school. I was like one of the best cooks in that thing. Like anything I do,
that's what's up.
I'm always trying to be top dog. It don't matter.
No doubt. So y'all be on the look for the one Young Micah food cart coming to a corner near you.
Hey, for real though, that's the one thing. That's one of the business. Hey, you don't know, but I'm trying to be like, they say you gotta make your money like 7 different ways or something.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make like 10 different ways. I'm trying to think of like 10 different businesses or 10 different endeavors that I can have my foot in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting money or not even not right now. I'm not even focused on getting money into it, but just building a business aspect, building myself in that, in different fields.
Yeah.
Like for real, like you already see me modeling, making music, songwriting, booking events. Okay, I got movies. Just got booked for another TV series, so that's 2 different things. I'm in the cannabis brand industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn my merch into a line eventually.
Okay.
Have my own shop and that type of stuff, and then I said the food thing.
Yeah.
If I get one more, we had 10 already, bro.
Dude, like, diversifying.
I'm trying to do so many different things. That's just stuff I'm thinking about the dome, but I'm trying to like really have my own label. That's probably the last one because I'm gonna branch off and have my own label. So it's like I'm trying to do like all of those things I just told you, like literally. So
well, bro,
be on the lookout. One at a time. You're gonna see them popping up. Whoop, whoop. Oh, my youngest took care of another thing. I'm telling you.
And I believe it, bro. Like I said, just watching how you move, man, I believe you could do it for real.
It's coming, bro.
That's what's up. Man, this was cool, bro. Like you've been on the radio show, which is dope. But on the radio show, we have a chance to kind of talk just a little bit. But it's good to just be able to sit down and really get to know, who you are and kind of the man behind the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's good to sit down with you, bro.
Word up. I know that you even as an artist is interesting because I know, and you mentioned it, man. Like you stay pretty low key, but nah, man, it's good to sometimes let people, know who they listen to, who you are as an individual.
Mm-hmm. I was glad you called me to do this. I seen it. I seen the one you did with Lisa Vasquez.
Yeah, that's the homie right there, man.
She's dope and cool with what's his name,
Theories, that's the homie, no doubt, man.
Yeah, he got some dope stuff too. Both of them, spin real dope sets and stuff.
Yeah.
I seen Lisa at not yours. I think I might have seen her at yours. I'm not sure.
She did Mic Check.
She did
Mic Check. Yeah.
I might have seen her at Mic Check. I think I seen her at the Thesis though.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you this though, bro. If you Lisa doing a show coming up on the 9th. By the time this air, it'll probably have happened. But if you, man, like you ain't gonna be able to see her much longer in Portland because she about to get on this Run the Map tour, and then it's a wrap. She's gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on tour. That's one of the things.
Yeah.
That's you can chill, especially by the time it get cold out here. Don't nobody want to sit out here for the cold. it get a little too cold. It's time to go on tour by the winter time.
Look at you. He trying to get down to Cali.
For real.
No doubt. One Young Micah. Say, bro, one more time. Let them know if they trying to connect with you, how they do it.
It's the number 1 Young Micah. You can go find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My music available on all streaming platforms. One Young Micah. I just had an album drop January, The Collage. Y'all can check that out. And I got a new project coming out with my label, The Vibers. It's called Good Problems. The single Mountains dropping in August 9th. August 9th, I think I'll have my first single for Mountains, for my first EP with my new label. And Y'all be on the lookout for my live performances. I'll be performing live at the Good Foot on the 14th and at Century August 22nd with a lot of dope, fun artists. It's not nothing you want to miss at all.
That's what's up. That's what's up. One Young Micah, I appreciate you, Doc, for real, man. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man.
For sure. Keep doing your thing,
I'm
man.
up here at X-Ray, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we do. Check him out, One Young Micah, all over Portland, and then you're going to see him worldwide. Once again, man, you can check out the Klyph Notes podcast everywhere you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, or you can go to www.klyphnotes.com. If you got questions or comments, man, you can hit me up on the email.
Hit me up, too.
klyphnotes@gmail.com. Stupid. klyphnotes@gmail.com. And one more time, man, shout outs to X-Ray FM for constantly being gracious hosts for recording of the Klyph Notes podcast. Shout out to Acapella Apparel for their continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. And last but never least, to the homie Theory Has It for doing the official theme song for the Klyph Notes podcast. All right, y'all. Until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.